Hello everyone, we got this CSV file containing invoice IDs of 2893 invoices. Now in this video, we'll create an integration to update these invoices using REST API. One approach would be to read the file and update invoice one by one using for each action. But this method processes the invoices serially, which increases the overall processing time. To improve the performance, instead of using read file, we'll use read file in segments. With the read file in segments option, the invoices are divided into multiple segments. These segments are then processed in parallel, which significantly reduces the total processing time compared to sequential processing. Now in OIC Gen 3, the read file in the stage file action supports the file up to 100 MB. So if we have the file greater than 100 MB, then read file in segments is mandatory. But irrespective of the file size, it is better to use the read file in segments approach when dealing with large files and performance optimization is required. Now I'll go to OIC and create our integration. Now for this integration, we need two connections, which are FTP and REST. The connections are already created. I'll first open the FTP connection, which is FTP001. Here we have to provide the FTP server host address, port. Under optional properties, the SFTP connection should be yes. And if we go down, here we have to provide the FTP username and password. I'll go back and open the REST connection. So the REST connection will be used to update the invoices through REST API. Here we have provided the Oracle ERP URL with one of the ERP username who is having privileges to update the invoices with the password. Now I'll go to integrations and click on the create button to create our integration. I'll choose schedule integration and provide the name as INTG035 as it is our 35th integration. Now I'll click on the create button. First of all, we need to download the file from the SFTP. For that, I'll click on the plus and search for the FTP connection, which is FTP001. Here I'll provide the name as download file. Continue. Continue. The operation will be download file. I'll not provide anything in the input directory and file name. We'll provide this in the mapping. For the download directory, I'll put /download. Continue. Finish. Now in the schedule option, I'll click on the three dot and choose edit. Here I will create two parameters which are file name and file path. So the parameters are created. Now I'll go to the map of download file and expand the download request. Here I will map file name to file name and file path to directory. So when we will trigger the integration, then we'll provide the SFTP file path with the file name. And the file will be downloaded in OIC using those parameter values. Now after downloading the file, we'll create the stage file action where we'll choose the read file in segments option. So I'll click on the plus and search for stage file. Here I'll provide the name as read file segments. Continue. In the stage file operation, instead of read entire file, we'll choose read file in segments. Then we can see the option configure file reference where we'll choose yes. Here you can see the segment size which is by default 2000 and we can specify the segment size between 200 to 2000. So I'll put 200 here, which is the minimum value of segment size. So if we have 3000 records in our file and as we are choosing the segment size of 200, so that means 3000 divide 200, 15 segments will be created and the segments will be processed parallelly to reduce the time significantly. Now we'll provide the file reference from the download file response. So I'll click on this switch to developer view option and expand the download file. Here we can see the file reference. I'll drag this here. Continue. Here we have to upload the schema of our invoice file. For that I'll continue and click on the drag and drop to upload the schema. So this is the file. I'll upload this. Then I'll provide the record and record set name. Now go down and only one column is there in our invoice file, which is invoice ID, and it should be mandatory. Continue. Finish. Now I'll expand this read file segments action, and as we mentioned the segment size as 200, that means in each segment we'll have 200 invoices. To get all the invoices of each segment one by one, we have to use the for each action. So I'll search for each, and for the repeating element I'll expand read file segments. So this is the repeating element REC. I'll drag this in the repeating element. Now within the for each, we'll use the REST API to update the invoices. So for that, I'll search for update AP invoices using REST API in Oracle ERP. And I'll open this link, REST API for Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials. Here I'll go down, and under the invoices, we'll find update an invoice. So this is the endpoint to update an invoice. Now within the for each, I'll click on plus and select the REST adapter connection. I'll provide the endpoint name as update invoice. For the endpoint related resource URI, we have to copy this endpoint URI and paste it here. Now as we are updating the invoice, so the action will be patch. You can see in the endpoint URI we have a template parameter which is invoices unique ID, where we'll pass our invoice ID. So the checkbox of add and review parameters for this endpoint is already checked. Now I'll check the request and response payload as well. Continue. You can see this is the template parameter invoices unique ID. Instead of string, I'll choose this as integer. Continue. Now we have to configure the request payload. For that, I'll click on the inline. Now we want to update the payment terms of all the invoices. So within the curly braces, I'll provide the payment terms only. So you can see I have provided only one attribute, which is payment terms. If you want to update multiple attributes of any invoices, then you can provide all these attributes in the request payload. To get all the attributes, I'll go to the REST API page, and under the request body, you can find all the attributes that you can update. So we have used only one attribute, which is payment terms. Now continue. Continue. Now to configure the response payload, I'll click on the inline again. Here we have provided invoice ID and payment terms both. So if the invoice is successfully updated with the payment terms, then in the response we'll get the payment terms for each invoice ID. And these are the dummy value of invoice ID and payment terms. Continue. Continue. Finish. Now go to the map of update invoice and expand the template parameters. Here we can see the invoice's unique ID. So to pass the invoice ID, I'll expand the for each element, which is F0 underscore REC. So here we have the invoice ID. I'll map this to invoice's unique ID. Now for the request payload, I'll expand the request wrapper, and we have only one attribute payment terms. To provide the value, I'll click on the create target node, and within the quotation, I'll provide the value of the payment terms, which is net 30, and it will be updated for each invoice. Save this, validate. Now go back. Now we may get error in updating any of the invoices using the REST API. To catch those error, we'll use the scope fault handler. So before the update invoice map, I'll click on the plus and search for the scope. Now I cut this action of update invoice with the map and paste it within the scope. Then I'll click on the three dot, and under the fault handlers, we'll choose AP invocation error REST. So this is the fault handler that is used to handle any type of error which is occurred by REST API. Now we'll create a file where we'll have all the invoices with the status of each invoice. So this is the schema of that file, and the columns are invoice ID, status, and payment terms. In the status column, we'll have the value success for which the update is done successfully. And if we get any error, then the error will be updated here. And in the payment terms column, we'll put the payment terms for all the invoices which will be updated successfully. Now to get the data of success and error invoices in one file, we'll create the file in both these sections with the same file name. So first of all, I'll create the file in the success section. So after the update invoice, I'll click on plus and search for the stage file. Here I'll provide the name as create file success. Continue. Now in the file operation, we have to choose write file. We'll provide the file name, which is updated AP invoices.csv. Output directory I'll provide as AP inv, which is a directory within OIC. Now here we have to choose the append option, as we'll append the records in the file one by one. Continue. Then we'll provide the schema of the file. So continue and upload the file schema with invoice ID, status and payment terms. We'll provide the record and record set name. I'll go down and I'll uncheck the column header checkbox. As in the write file, the first row contains the data and it will not be the header. Now I'll make all the columns as optional and choose the first column as mandatory and provide the column name as well. C1 will be invoice ID and C2 and C3 will be status and payment terms respectively. Now continue, finish. Then I'll go to the map of create file success and expand the record set. Now for the invoice ID and payment terms, we'll get the value from the update invoice response. So I'll expand this and map invoice ID and payment terms. For the status, I'll create a target node and provide success. Validate. Now I'll create the file in the fault handler with the same file name to get the error invoice details. So I'll click on the plus and select stage file. Here I'll provide the name as create file error. Continue. We'll select the right file and provide the same file name and directory. We'll check the append checkbox as well. Continue. And here also I'll upload the same file schema. I'll uncheck the column header as well. Now make all the columns as optional and choose the first column as mandatory. Provide the column name as well. Continue. Finish. Now go to the map of create file error and expand the record set. Here for the invoice ID, I'll expand F0_REC and map the invoice ID. Now for the status, click on create target node and expand the current fault object, where we'll find the error details. So this is the error details. I'll drag this in the status, then save. And as the update is failed, so the payment terms will be null for the error invoices. Now after getting all the records in the file, we'll read the file outside the read file in segment and then we'll write the file into the SFTP. So for that, I'll search for the stage file and provide the name as read entire file. Continue. Here we have to specify the same file name and the directory that we have used inside the loop. So the file name is updated AP invoices.csv and the directory is /AP inv. Continue. Continue. We'll upload the same schema, which is updated AP invoices. Provide the record and record set name. Choose all the columns as optional and first column as mandatory. Continue. Finish. After reading the entire file, we'll write the file into the SFTP. For that, I'll search for the FTP adapter connection, which is FTP001. And I'll provide the name as write file to FTP. Continue. Continue. Instead of read a file, we have to choose write file. For the output directory, I'll provide / and file name pattern will be star. We'll provide this in the mapping. Continue. Now we'll upload the same schema file. Put the record and record set name. Now make all the columns as optional and choose the first column as mandatory. Continue. Finish. I'll go to the map of write file to FTP and expand the record set. Now I'll click on the record and choose repeat node. So you can see now two repeating elements are there. So the first one will be used for the header and the second one will be used for the data. So here in each of the attributes, I'll provide the column name. Like for the invoice ID, I'll write invoice ID. Similarly, I'll write the column name for status and the payment terms. Then for the data, I'll expand the read entire file response. First, I'll map the repeating element and then I'll map invoice ID, status and payment terms. And for the file name and directory, I'll expand the outbound FTP header type. The directory will be same as source file directory. So I'll map file path to directory. And for the file name, I'll create target node and provide updated AP invoices.csv. Save. Now the last thing is we have to provide one primary business identifier, which I'll provide as file name. Save the integration. Now we are ready to activate and run the integration. So I'll activate the integration in the debug mode. Then I'll run the integration. Here we have to provide the file name and file path. And to get this, I'll open the WinSCP and upload our file into one of the SFTP location. Then I'll copy the file path and put it under file path. I'll copy the file name as well and provide it under file name. Then I'll click on the run button. After waiting for few minutes, we can see the processing completed successfully. And in the read file segments, we have 15 segments. If I expand this, then we can find all the segments here. I'll expand any of this segment. Like in the segment 6, we have 200 iterations. Similarly, if we expand segment 1, then we can see 200 iterations as well. Likewise, all the segments is having 200 iterations except the last segment, which is segment 15. Here we can see 93 iterations. As we have total 2893 records, so that means for the first 14 segments, we have 200 iterations, and in the last segment, we have 93 iterations. And most of the segments, we can see the red symbol. That means we are getting error in invoice update. So the details we'll find in our output file. So I'll go to WinSCP and refresh. So this is the output file that is created. I'll download this file and open the file in Notepad++. So here we can see for the first invoice ID we are getting success and the payment terms is updated as net 30. Then for the second, third, fourth and fifth invoices we are getting some error, and the error is you cannot perform this operation because the invoice type is not standard credit memo, debit memo or prepayment. So this is the data issue because of which the update is getting failed. Now if we go down, we can see the invoices have been updated from the 7th invoice onwards. Then again for some invoices we are getting the same error. Likewise we are getting the status of all the invoices. So this is it for this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Share this video within your circle. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, put that in the comment section and do subscribe our channel. Also if you want to connect with me through social network related to any queries in our videos, then please join the membership of this channel. Thank you.